Coronation Street's Betsy Swain is left with an impossible dilemma next week, after the police pay her a visit to ask about the role that her boyfriend Dylan Wilson played in causing her mystery health scare. Will she face up to the truth about what happened, or protect him? Betsy's in a hopeless predicament, explains our Corey source. She's begged her friends and family not to blame Dylan, but now he's taking full responsibility, and she's torn. With Betsy still in hospital, news spreads of her situation, and Dylan comes under fire again, this time from love rival Brody Michaelis. Following Dylan's arrest the previous week after Betsy's mum reported him, the young lad's baffled by spiraling events and points the finger of blame at Brody. But when the gossip catches up with Kit's son, he's horrified at the accusation. Livid Brody confronts Dylan on the street for spreading such damning lies about him. As the two lads come face to face, vengeful Brody makes a vicious remark that leaves Dylan reeling, saying that if he was in Betsy's shoes, he'd make sure the police arrested him. Brody's words rattle Dylan's conscience, continues our Kabul spy. It's all too easy for him to put the blame on Brody, rather than face up to the complicated situation he faces. But after some empathetic home truths from Ryan Connor, terrified Dylan finally sees the truth. The next day, Dylan visits Betsy in hospital and admits his part in what happened to her. As he tearfully approaches her, taking in her weakened state, he tells his girlfriend that he couldn't be more sorry for what's happened. But will Dylan's admission of guilt change Betsy's loyalties when the police come knocking? Betsy's adamant that she doesn't blame Dylan, reminds our informant. All her loved ones have got an opinion on what happened between the young lovers, but only they know what went on. However, with Betsy seriously unwell as a result, they're going to have to face the consequences. As Dylan's future hangs in the balance based on Betsy's statement, she receives a visit from her best mate, Lauren Bolton. However, her arrival comes at a bad time, as Betsy struggles with her physio exercises. It's hard for Lauren to see Betsy looking so vulnerable, but there's even more awkwardness when mortified Betsy explains that she needs help using the toilet. Her life-changing diagnosis is now impossible to ignore. Will guilt-ridden Dylan be charged for hurting his girlfriend? And will Betsy struggle to recover her identity now her dreams of a new life in London are over? Betsy has never been afraid to stand up for what she believes is right, but this time the situation is far more complicated. After becoming involved in a shocking incident connected to Dylan, she suddenly finds herself facing an impossible decision. Should she tell the police everything she knows, or protect someone she deeply cares about? The dilemma isn't simply about telling the truth. It's about weighing justice against friendship, compassion against responsibility, and deciding whether one choice could destroy multiple lives forever. As events spiral out of control, Dylan becomes increasingly desperate. Already struggling with the consequences of previous mistakes, he realizes that the investigation could expose far more than anyone expected. Every conversation becomes tense, every glance filled with suspicion, and every knock at the door raises fresh fears. The pressure begins affecting Betsy almost immediately. Friends notice she's distracted. Family members sense she's hiding something, but she refuses to explain. The emotional burden becomes heavier with every passing day, especially as police continue asking difficult questions. What makes the storyline especially compelling is that neither Betsy nor Dylan fits neatly into the role of hero or villain. Both characters are portrayed with emotional depth, making viewers understand why each makes the choices they do. Dylan fears losing his future, while Betsy fears making a decision she'll regret for the rest of her life. The investigation quickly sends shockwaves across Weatherfield. Rumors spread through the community as residents try to piece together what really happened. Some believe Betsy should cooperate fully with the authorities, while others argue that loyalty should come first. Meanwhile, detectives become convinced that someone close to Dylan knows more than they're admitting. Their attention slowly turns toward Betsy, placing her under intense scrutiny. Every interview becomes a psychological battle as officers attempt to uncover the truth without revealing exactly what evidence they already possess. Betsy's internal struggle grows stronger. She knows remaining silent could make matters worse if the truth eventually emerges. Yet speaking out could permanently damage relationships that mean everything to her. Adding another emotional layer, Dylan begins relying on Betsy more than ever before. He pleads for understanding rather than judgment, insisting the situation isn't as straightforward as it appears. His vulnerability makes Betsy's decision even more painful, leaving viewers wondering whether compassion or honesty will ultimately win. Coronation Street has built its reputation on delivering powerful moral dilemmas, and this storyline perfectly continues that tradition. Rather than presenting easy answers, it forces both characters and viewers to consider how they would react under similar circumstances. The storyline also highlights how quickly one decision can create a chain reaction. A single conversation with police could trigger arrests, broken friendships, shattered families, and long-lasting consequences throughout Weatherfield. Even characters who aren't directly involved may soon find themselves caught in the fallout. Fans have already begun speculating about what Betsy will ultimately decide. Will guilt force her to reveal everything? Could Dylan convince her to remain silent? Or is there another shocking twist waiting that changes the investigation entirely? Another fascinating aspect is the emotional transformation both characters undergo. Betsy begins as someone determined to do the right thing, but gradually discovers that the right thing isn't always obvious. Dylan, meanwhile, must confront the reality that actions always have consequences, no matter how desperately he hopes to escape them. The police investigation itself adds suspense to every episode. New clues continue emerging, witness statements conflict with one another, and unexpected revelations leave detectives questioning earlier assumptions. Just when it seems the case is solved, another twist changes everything. Viewers can also expect powerful performances as the actors explore fear, guilt, loyalty, and heartbreak. These emotionally charged scenes are likely to become some of the most memorable moments of the season, particularly as Betsy faces increasing pressure from every direction. Whether Betsy ultimately chooses honesty or loyalty, one thing is certain: her decision will have lasting consequences. The relationship between her and Dylan may never recover, while other residents of Weatherfield could also find themselves drawn into the unfolding drama. As the storyline reaches its climax, Coronation Street appears ready to deliver another unforgettable week filled with shocking revelations, emotional confrontations, and unexpected twists. Betsy's police dilemma is more than just another investigation. It's a story about trust, sacrifice, and the difficult choices people make when every option comes with a painful price. With emotions running higher than ever and the truth edging closer to being revealed, fans should prepare for dramatic scenes that could reshape several lives. One decision, one confession, one secret. In Weatherfield, that's all it takes to change everything forever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Coronation Street Scoop News Update.